6, 10 girls, I don't care. And if you stayed here, you know what my rules were. They were, you're never to leave the house. Never. If you want to go out and toilet paper a house, you wake me, we'll go toilet paper. But don't go out alone. You know, and at night, I count your heads. I did it up at the cabin. I do it now. Because it's not going to happen on my watch. Nothing. So, how do I adapt? I'll let you know when I adapt. When it's over. I still check on Hannah and Taylor, Juliet. That's the way it is. I can't travel with them. They know that. They travel everywhere. They've been everywhere, and I never go. I can't be on an airplane with them. I don't want them with me. That if anything ever happens with me, I don't want them there. And I didn't do anything wrong. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. I can say that. I didn't. I stopped people from doing things. But I can't have them. I can't be on an airplane with them. Because I'm afraid they're going to pay for something that I did in that time. Yeah, I'll tell you again, war is not what you think. No, not like in the movies. I watch them. I'm entertained by them. Have you seen the movie Platoon? Watch it. That's the way it was. And it was made by, I forget his name, Oliver Stone. You know, the actors that you know are in it. It was a pretty true depiction of what happened. Little girls getting raped. Your little girls got raped by GIs. But there were those of us that would stop it. And those of us that did things to, you know, see to it it didn't happen again. That's why I wondered about this tape. Didn't know how much I should say. But nobody cares, actually. That's what I found out since. All of our politicians knew what was going on over there. They didn't care. They didn't care then. I know they don't care now. But I still didn't know how much. Because I see guys, occasionally, that I was there with. One guy in particular, who died a couple of years ago. We talked. She needs to go outside. Angel wants out.
Okay.
So, next.
Would you say that you idealized war before you yourself were in it?
Mm-hmm.
And do you regret going now? Do you regret what you did?
I don't regret it. I would just never do it again.
Yeah.
But I don't regret it. I would never have known what I know now. Yeah, but I would never do it again. And I would tell you right now, I would move before my family, my children would have to go. I would take them to wherever we had to go. I used to go to Canada in the old days, you know, to get away from the draft. And those guys I used to not like. And I had some friends that did it. Well, they went to Canada to avoid the draft. Draft dodgers, you've heard that term, probably. They were right. I just didn't know it. So I don't regret it. I just wouldn't do it again. And I would do everything in my power so that my children would never have to go. I'm very, very bitter. Very bitter. Like with George Bush. Taking us to Iraq. We had no business there. None whatsoever. The Iraqis did absolutely nothing to us. Nothing. Which he later admitted by the presidential committee that was done. And he said, well, there never were any weapons of mass destruction. You know. So then they changed it to world. But they had to get Saddam Hussein because he was a bad guy. But that's not the reason he said we were there. But in the meantime, thousands of Americans were killed unnecessarily. And I take that very personally. Me and maybe 40,000 other Vietnam vets. Maybe hundreds of thousands, I don't know. So I I don't know if I answered your question.
Did your brothers want you to go into the war?
No. My brother that was in Vietnam was a high-ranking enlisted. Oh, by the way, I was enlisted, not an officer. Okay, Spec 4. I could have gone to OCS. I could have gone when in the Army when I took all this testing. They asked me if they wanted me to become an officer, but I saw them as elitist, and I wanted to do what I wanted to do. Anyway, I had a brother that was a sergeant major in the Army. And that's the highest-ranking enlisted office or position that there is, rank that there is, and there is a is it a law? I think it is. It's called sole survivor. If you're the sole surviving son of a family, you don't have to go in the service at all. And if you have somebody who's serving in combat, you don't have to go in. And he actually tried. He started to talk about seeing to it that I didn't have to go into Vietnam, into the Army. And I just told him to mind his own business. That wasn't for him to decide. I wanted to do this thing. So yeah, Fred is my brother Fred. He was in the Army at the time. So we actually, I think we crossed in an airport in Vietnam. Or we were going to, but we missed. You know, it's one of those things where I just flushed a lot of things, you know. You try.
You said just now that you tried to flush a lot of things out. Like, you said on the first day that you saw a lot of casualties. So, that first night when you were, like, did you try to turn that off and try to just not remember it?
No. If you open that sliding door, she'll come in. I don't know what I thought. I don't remember. What I probably did was like in a lot of, okay, maybe it was trying not to remember, because you really can't dwell on things, and that's when you get in trouble. Because see, when you're out there, you have to pay attention to everything that goes on all of the time. And if I stop to dwell on something, even the time it took me to stop and think about something else, that could be disastrous, because then I'm not paying attention. I'm not watching where I'm going. I'm not watching who could be over there. There were trees everywhere, bushes. It was Vietnam. It was a jungle, and there were snipers everywhere, and they're waiting for you, you know. And you. So I don't know. I don't think that night. I remember when it happened. It was just a horrible experience. But I don't. That's funny. I don't really remember. Probably because I probably tried to block it out. It didn't do any good. I learned that death is death. It can happen just like that.
So while you were there, and I'm sure you heard like all the protests and stuff, how did you feel about that? Were you like upset that they were going against what you were fighting for?
Yes, I was very much against them, and I believe they were wrong. You know, they were the hippies. You know, and yeah, I thought they were doing the wrong thing. But as we were there for any length of time, we saw what was going on, and you better watch your tripod. It changed. My feeling changed, as did most everybody I was with. Feeling changed. What we ended up doing was we formed a brotherhood, which we still maintain, and we took care of one another. And you learn to love this person, and you learn, though you don't get attached, you know. Though you don't get attached, you form a bond. I mean, it's a bond that's going to save your life, that's going to protect you. He watches you, you watch him, and this person watches us, and we watch them. And so, ask me again, what was your question?
How you felt about the people that were protesting against
the
war?
protest. Yes, I was against it. I was very much against it.